So, good morning, everybody. Sorry, my English is not so improved. I cannot compare my English to the Myric's one. And I have a terrible French accent. I'm very happy to be back in Georgia because I was in Georgia for my holidays last summer and I miss the Bassiani Club and the cows on the road. I love that. And, but I am not here to speak about my holidays, but about my job. So I am the project manager for Nightlife policy in Paris, and I am going to explain you what kind of job is it. Okay, so Paris, it's a 2 million inhabitant city in the heart of a metropole of 7 million inhabitants, and we welcome 40 million of tourists each year. So many people, but the main attractive area at night are in the city center, and here you can see where it's yellow, that means that with a low density of bars and venues and so on, and when it's dark red, there are many bars, so it's for sure very noisy. And in red, it's the place when the people spontaneously use the public space to have picnic, to drink, and so on. And so it's mainly along the rivers and the channels, and it's a big park, and the little pink points are the station of night buses. So why do we decide to make a nightlife policy? Because of problems. In 2007, there was a new law forbidding the cigarettes in the venues. So all the people go outside to smoke their cigarettes, make a lot of noise, and the inhabitants were absolutely unhappy. And moreover, people more and more are outside of the city and of the venues to drink, to have fun and so on, and make a lot of noise also. So the inhabitants were really hungry, so they made pressure on the police, because you have to understand that in Paris, the police and the municipality are independent from each other. The police depends on the national government. So they make pressure on the police to close the venues. They started to do that. So after that, of course, the professionals, the nightlife professional complained about the situation, saying that Paris nightlife, exactly, they say Paris when the night dies in silence. And they make a petition to protest among these problems. And so the municipality start to think about the situation and thought that we have to do something. So we organized in 2010 a big forum during 2 days and 1 night, and not an international forum, a local one. And we invite all the different stakeholders, about 1,000 people participate, so all the different services of the city, the police, the club unions, because we have several clubs and bars union in France, and the Association of Inhabitants, Prevention, Discrimination, Gender Equality, the Transportation Company, Tourist Office, and so on and so on. And we decided to have a global approach, not to focus only on the conflicts between the inhabitants and the bars. So we organized several thematic working groups during the forum on prevention, discrimination, transportation, urbanism, tourism, and so on. And here is the final result, the report of the forum. And after that, I go too fast, but anyway. After that, nothing really continued. And during the last municipal election in 2014, the current mayor promised during the campaign that she will, because it's a lady, she will dedicate a deputy mayor for nightlife, and she will create a nightlife council. So the deputy mayor is Frédéric Ocard. And in Paris, you have 20 districts, so he works with, in each district, you have an elected official in charge of nightlife also. So he works with these networks of elected officials at the local, very local level. And me, I have been recruited by the city as project manager, and I work in each department of the city with, how can I say, yes, a point of contact on nightlife in each department, transportation department, prevention department, and so on. It's organization. So about the Nightlife Council, we invited all the stakeholders to join, so the same people more or less than during the forum. This is the first meeting, and the mayor explains that now we have a permanent and participative body to develop this policy, and that the view of the city is to have a balanced approach between the needs of the inhabitants, all the inhabitants want to have fun, but between those who want to have fun, those who want to sleep, and the night workers, because we have hundreds of thousands of people who work at night in Paris. So a balanced approach, and also we want to have a diversified offer during the night, not only electronic music and alcohol, but also to have cultural, sport, and so on offers. And we invite all the participants to join different working groups, thematic working groups. And no, I'm not in the... Okay, so we have 7 working groups about new space for nightlife, prevention, discrimination, transportation, public security, trade and night workers, and promotion of nightlife. Okay, it seems that there is too many noises. But I am not going to make the police here. And so, during 1 year, all these working groups make proposals. We try to bring consensus between the different stakeholders. And finally, we set up an action plan of 37 actions divided in 4 main lines. So to develop nightlife, to promote nightlife, to regulate nightlife, and also to participate in nightlife policy. And try, yes. And so now I just want to present you some actions, example of actions. For example, this year we set up a call for projects, an urban call for projects. That means that in the city we have underground place, tunnels, metro stations, parkings which are not used anymore. So we propose to the civil society to make projects, to propose projects mainly on nightlife. Of course, tunnels, it's absolutely perfect. And we are in the phase of selection, so we will have in the next years new spots for nightlife and underground, so no noise, and also in the city center. About promotion, we work a lot with the tourism office because we have a big problem of competitivity with Barcelona, Berlin, Amsterdam, soon Tbilisi for sure, and so on. So they have a very great image for nice nightlife, and they have anyway. But Paris is not like that. Paris is more the museum city. But yes, that's true, we are a museum city, but we have also a very nice offer, but nobody knows that. So we make a huge job to change this image. We have a figure, only 5% of the tourists come in Paris for the nightlife. So 5% is very low. About the regulation, this map is showing the brown, how can I say, zone. Brown zone are the problematic zone during the night, problematic because there is noise mainly. And all the rest are the different action we put So, for example, we have some zone when it's forbidden to drink alcohol outside. We have some zone when we have a mediation association who intervene at night. So we have a sort of mapping of all we do. Also, we make animation. This summer, for the first time, we propose to the people in the parks during the night to observe the stars. Not so many you can see in Paris because there is light pollution, of course, but it's really interesting and it was really a nice success. About 15,000 of people visits this animation. Okay. Okay. We also develop a campaign to raise awareness of the partygoers about the noise, about the cleanliness, about drink too much alcohol, or about sexual harassment. So it's an example of the campaign we had 1 year ago. So about this free thematic, so it can be on the spot in the nightlife areas, also on the social network, and you have also people who come of different organizations who come to meet partygoers outside and to exchange with them. For example, the Pierrot de la Nuit. Pierrot de la Nuit, it's an artistic mediation organization. So at the front line you have artists, so they attract the people and they catch their curiosity and so on. And after that, there is a mediator who explains that they have to take care about the inhabitants because in Paris we have the highest density of population in Europe. So when you make noise somewhere, of course you will disturb someone. And so it's a kind of positive raising awareness campaign. Fait éclair, it's dispositif, no, it's organization for drug, alcohol, and sex prevention in the party scene. So they act in the discotheque, they train the professional, and also they organize a spot like that in the streets. These people are the photo is during the day, but they work during the night. It's an antisocial behavior team of the city, and we have a nighttime unit, so it's very new also, and they produce fees if you make too much noise, if you pee, if you throw your cigarettes, or if the terrace it's out of the authorized surface, a fee. And also, in our Nightlife Council, finally, we have everybody accepted the nightlife users. There is no organization of partygoers. So that is a problem. So we decided to create a Nightlife Users Committee. So we made a call for candidates, and 250 people respond. And we randomly selected 15 women and 15 men, and now we work with them, and they develop projects, they meet the other stakeholders, and now they give the voice of the nightlife users in the Nightlife Council, which is, of course, very interesting. So in terms of communication, we have a Facebook group, a web page, we have a newsletter and so on, because it's important to communicate within the Nightlife Council. We also have, which is very important for us, is to exchange with the other cities in France and abroad, of course, the reason why I'm very happy to be here. And we organized last year a big conference in Paris on nightlife policy. So about our strengths, I think the fact to have a dedicated deputy mayor, so an elected official to promote the policy, it's a strength. To have this global vision and this cross-cutting approach, it's also a strength for the nightlife. Also, this participative body of the Nightlife Council, it's a good thing. We are very lucky because in Paris we already have, the sector is already organized. We have clubs and bar unions, the inhabitants have strong organizations and so on. So it could be possible to start directly the job. and also the practice sharing, of course, with other cities. And the weakness, of course, but it's everywhere. We have contradictory interests between the stakeholders that for sure you can understand between the inhabitants and the bars, they don't have the same interest. We have, because it's a crisis, economic crisis, but it's an economic crisis since I am young, so it's a lack of human and financial resource, so we don't have. For example, personally, for my own job, I have only 200,000 euros, which is not a lot. Cross-cutting approach, it's a good thing, but it's very complex, and you are always, you are not the priority of the other service, so it's very hard to push them. Yes, also the implementation timetable is very long. Of course, when the city start to put in action some proposals of the council, it takes years, and the people, they want results now. And the inhabitants who want to sleep last night, of course, they cannot understand that they will have to wait 2 years to have the first results. So we have a great frustration, and also it's complicated to keep the partner mobilized after the designing phase, because when we implement, we cannot bring them together regularly to say what, but we organize General Assembly twice a year, so it's a good thing. And also, it's difficult to implement the policy in all the districts because it's a central policy, but each district, they didn't have this idea in mind. And also, we have a district from the opposite political party, but that doesn't mean that they are not very strong also. And I think it's finished. So thank you very much.